Hey guys, so for this video, I want to talk about everything Season 3 related and more. At the time I'm recording this, the new season is in 4 days and the Doomsday event is in 2 days. That means after what's felt like an entire year, the end of season is finally upon us. There's no more extensions or delays. What this also means is, like with Season 2, there's going to be some big changes heading our way. These include huge changes to the map, overhauls of the loot pool, and potentially new mechanics. I say potentially because it's just speculation. Still, I think there's no better way to finish off this season than to talk about what I think will happen in the new one, as well as some features I hope Epic adds. Plus, the last time I did this, they came out with edit on release, so hopefully I can manifest another useful addition to the game. With that being said, let's get into the video. The first thing I want to talk about are all the leaks regarding next season's map. For some background, hashtag spoiler alert, everything points to a flood. There's the no sweat insurance building that was added back to Lazy Lake. There's this leaked Fortnite artwork from the official PlayStation store. There's even an area on the map that spells out Noah like Noah's Ark. Long story short, there will likely be a flood. Now, when this flood will supposedly happen is during the Doomsday event that's been moved back like 4 different times already. If you paid attention to it, you would know it's taking place 2 days before the new season, not the day before or the day of like a typical end of season event would. There's going to be a full 2-day gap between the Doomsday event and the new season release. Why this is important is that this gives Epic the chance to completely change the game for a short period of time. Remember the black hole event that lasted 3 days? That event quite literally took the game offline completely. You couldn't play creative, battle royale, or save the world. Yet, even though the game was not playable, it managed to create an insane amount of hype for Chapter 2. Millions of people around the world sat at home staring at a black hole on their screen waiting for something to happen. Then when something finally did, Fortnite saw its most players online in months. The black hole alone helped revive a huge portion of its player base. My theory for this upcoming season is that Epic Games is going to do something similar to this again, but for Season 3, they're gonna do it with a flood. For example, they might flood the map and make it look like Mirel's concept right here, then have it drain before the new season. I actually really like this idea and think it would be fun since it would only last for a few days in total. Plus, you'd be able to swim around and goof off while riding sharks. According to many leakers, however, Chapter 2 Season 3 has a much different storyline. Rather than having the map flood for only 2 days, Epic may leave the map flooded for a majority of the season until it completely dries out and reveals new locations. This would completely change Fortnite as we know it, since the map would be like 60% water. You'd have to swim everywhere like you did in the Travis Scott concert, and the entire game would be turned upside down. Back to the Doomsday event itself, and it all links to the Season 2 storyline of Shadow vs Ghost. These two groups of henchmen have been battling for each of the Season 2 POIs like the Rig and the Grotto, and as far as what I've seen, Shadow seems to be winning. As a result, CypherPK believes that Midas will try to stop them using his crazy Doomsday device. He'll apparently put on this outfit that I showed in the thumbnail called the Cyclo skin and control the Doomsday device in his hidden room. Sorry by the way if I'm getting any of this lore wrong, I'm just going off what I've read from others. Anyways, Midas will take the Doomsday device as well as a storm tracking device, aka the same device that's been causing all of these wacky circles on the map, and create a giant storm that will flood the map. Seems pretty simple enough. Moving on to what I hope Epic adds in, and I guess we'll start with my ideal map. At least to me, I don't want any giant changes to it. And by giant, I mean stuff like having most of the map underwater from the flood. In my opinion, I think flooding the map would be cool for a few days, but after like a week or so, it would just be annoying. Not to mention, any drastic change like that to the map or terrain would mess with how the game works. People gotta realize we're only in Chapter 2 Season 3. The map is gonna develop and change a lot before we get a completely new one or go back to the old one from Chapter 1. There's no need to rush it.
But Sharian, didn't you just say you don't want any map changes?
You're right, I did. However, that doesn't mean I don't want any changes at all. I'd love for some new unique POIs and unnamed locations. I'll never forget when Fortnite added in Paradise Palms or Polar Peak. They were huge alterations that nobody saw coming, yet everybody loved them because they made Fortnite feel the same at its core. I don't think you can say the same for a flooded map. To be 100% realistic though, the chances Epic doesn't change the map are pretty darn slim. Not even because of the flood or anything like that, but just because of the general season progression. I'm not sure how many of you guys remember this tweet from Donald Mustard, but in case you don't, this was from back before Chapter 2 Season 2 started. What Donald Mustard, who runs Fortnite, said was that he thinks of Fortnite season similar to dramatic pacing and audio volumes. With Season X, Epic added a bunch of crap like the dancing taco time and Greasy, while with Chapter 2 Season 1, they took it all away, which made everyone angry. This is what Donald Mustard is referring to by saying you feel feel the full impact of both extremes between cranking volume really high and then turning it back to 0. Additionally, what got me really excited was the end of his tweet, which basically refers to progressively adding more stuff in each season. Just as we saw with the new POIs and vaults in Chapter 2 Season 2, there should be even better and more fun additions for Chapter 2 Season 3. Next thing I love to see in the new season is a new shotgun. For the past 8 months, ever since Chapter 2 started, we've only had these same 2 shotguns in the game, the pump and the tech. Their rarities have not changed, nor have their damage or anything to make them feel different. Don't get me wrong, I love both of those weapons. They're both extremely balanced, especially compared to stuff like the double barrel or the drum shotgun. The thing is, Fortnite has essentially become a close-range combat game. The majority of fights you get into will end up in a shotgun battle because of building. So when you have the 2 same shotguns in the game for almost 8 months at this point, fighting gets sort of stale. Something I thought would be interesting would be a toned-down version of the combat shotgun we had back in Season 9. That shotgun was really fun to use. It was good from mid to long range, unlike every other shotgun, which allowed for much different playstyles than we have today. People couldn't just run into your face and get off 3 lucky shots. The combat had a crazy small hitbox, making it have a much higher skill ceiling. Its main problem, however, was that it was way too strong from up close. You can't have a balanced weapon in any game that's really good from up close and far away. It's either gotta drop off after a certain distance or have bad enough bloom to suck from up close. The combat had neither. Next thing I'd like to be changed in Season 3 is the arena system. I don't know about you guys, but I think arena sucks. Not only is it not competitive, but nobody plays it once they get into Champions League. And the reason behind this is that the system is a joke. All Epic needs to do is give people a reason to keep grinding. That could be ranks like in every other competitive game, or a potential end of season prize like they promised. The way it currently works is you get absolutely nothing except the ability to compete in tournaments. Yes, I know I sound ungrateful considering how much money Epic gives away. Trust me, I appreciate it. I just wish they would take arena mode more seriously. Like, there's no reason not to. So many more people would grind the game and buy V-Bucks if they actually had something to work for. They could steal the ranking system from Apex Legends for all I care. As long as they make arena worth playing, I'd put way more time into the game myself. On the topic of ranked and competitive, I'd also love to see Epic get behind separate loot pools. This is a topic I've brought up numerous times in the past, yet Epic has not really seemed to budge. They want the loot pool for normal public matches that are supposed to be fun to be the same as the loot pool for competitive. Now, outside of this making competitive less competitive, it makes casual games way less fun. Back in Chapter 1, there were so many fun items you could play around with. You had bouncers, porta-fortresses, clingers, shadow bombs, boogie bombs. You basically had an array of fun ways to play out fights. In Chapter 2, on the other hand, there really hasn't been anything new, making the game much less fun. I will admit, however, Epic did start to do this towards the end of the season. They added stuff like the lightsabers and bounce pads only to public matches. Still, what I'm more referring to is leaving out items that are specifically broken in competitive. For example, floppers. Floppers are without a doubt one of the coolest items Fortnite has ever added. You fish for them in water and they give you an instant 50 health. Seems pretty fair, right? Well, not exactly. In high-level matches, aka competitive, floppers are extremely overpowered. People will just sit and storm with 8 of them, griefing the rest of the lobby. That's why if Epic separated the loot pools more, the competitive one would only have balanced items. There wouldn't be mythic grapplers with infinite charges or mythic drum guns that controller players abuse the heck out of. There'd only be fair, balanced items that would make the competitive game mode competitive. So again, separate the loot pools to make casual games more fun and competitive games more fair. The last and final thing I want for the new season is more ways to reduce the advantages of low ping. As I'm sure you all know, low ping is one of the biggest advantages a player can have. Players with 0 ping like me can go around yoinking walls with ease, while people on high ping have their walls taken every single fight. One solution I thought was pretty interesting was to introduce a ping floor. By that, I mean a minimum ping value people can achieve that's above 0. Let's say it's set at 20, this would cause everyone who normally gets below 20 ping to automatically get 20, and everyone above 20 will have their normal ping. I don't think this is too bad of a solution. It's definitely interesting to think about, but why not just add back the coin flip mechanic? The coin flip mechanic was the in-game feature that made it so you had a 50% chance of taking a wall instead of having a 100% chance on low ping or a 0% chance on high ping. I really liked this feature back when it was added. There were people on more than 50 ping who could finally hold their walls first try. Then out of nowhere, Epic removed it without saying a word. Please, Donald Mustard, if you're somehow watching watching this, add back the coin flip mechanic. I understand you can't just magically add servers to improve everyone's ping. What you can do though is add back the coin flip mechanic and help everyone out, so if you're gonna do anything I ask for, please make it this one. Overall guys, that's everything I think will happen next season, as well as what I want Epic to add. If you guys agree or disagree with what I said, let me know down below and why. On top of that, if you enjoyed the video, do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Shout out to everyone using code Jarian. If you guys want to support me, please use code Jarian for the Season 3 Battle Pass. It helps me out a ton, and I'll shout out everyone who uses it. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.
Sound production.